guys and gals, never here from Drakewing Gaming, and 70 on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you with another Let's Play episode of Kingsguard, Koshiro's Path. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we? Alarm chain, we're up, and let's go. Okay. It looked just as it did when you first brought it here, but now there was a single strip of paper wrapped around the hilt. The one that the shaman was holding. There was a crack in the shaman's mask, straight down the middle, and from behind you saw both her eyes were closed. Was she dead? You reached a hand forward, frightened of what had become of her. Gah! Her eyes opened up as though she were merely shaken awake from a dream. It is done. Slowly she shifted herself off the altar. You were a bit startled to help her, but she didn't seem to need assistance. I thought you were... Dead? I am not as feeble as I look. Still, it has been many years since I have come in contact with something so powerful. The shaman turned towards the blade. It was fortunate that you had brought this thing with you. I thought there were many who would have been able to seal it, and its hold on you. I apologize if the ritual caused you any pain, but know that it was necessary. What did you do exactly? I've put it back to sleep, hopefully for good, but even I do not know the entirety of what the future holds. How such an evil thing was created, I do not know, but I have done my part, so it is up to you to keep it safe. I'm not sure what you mean. Just know that so long as you do not use this blade, whether for your own protection or another purpose, that seal will hold, and you will be safe. Safe from the sword? Could you not feel the vileness of the blade, the darkness it emitted, the corruption of your soul? It is not the blade that you should fear, it is what is contained within. An ancient evil not from this land, not of this world, one whose sole purpose is war, destruction, and despair. It is trapped inside with a powerful seal, one much stronger than I have ever seen. Second, yeah. And should it ever break, you won't be the only one to fear its wrath. You have seen what it could do at its weakest. Now imagine a power like that at its peak, unleashed upon the world. And this piece of paper is going to keep it locked inside? It will at least keep its influence at bay. You won't be so tempted to use it, and its thoughts will no longer penetrate your mind. But it is only temporary. It is only temporary, and it will not hold as easily if you free it from its scabbard. So then, why don't I just keep it here in a locked box? Must be safer than dragging it around. Because you must be the one to carry this burden. That's a little irresponsible, don't you think? Having me carry around this is like asking me to light a bomb and play hot potato with it. I wish that it were easy just to purge this evil from the world, but that is not possible. And soon you will see why it is that you cannot leave it behind. Why you cannot escape its presence. Just try to leave this room without it. The shaman rose an arm as though she were guiding you to the door. He looked at the exit. It was just several steps away. As you tried to turn to leave, though, a nagging feeling kept you firmly planted. I just noticed that right there. Huh. It should have been easy to take that short walk out of here and never think about that blade again. Yet you couldn't. Your mind became focused on the blade, keeping it close, keeping it safe. What was keeping you from leaving? Was it because this item was your last memento for Marilyn and Esther? Somehow you doubted that. It is not always easy to escape your destiny. You are tied to the blade and it is tied to you. You will find each other, now until the end of time. Bullshit. I'm just a little tired right now. My body isn't listening to me. If you truly believe that you can leave, then you are more than free to continue to try. But know this. It will forever be your responsibility to protect the blade. The only thing you truly need to worry about, the one thing to keep us all safe from its wrath, is to keep this blade away from blood, the wellspring of life and death. So long as it is neglected of that, it will never be free, and it will never become whole. Keep it close, but do not use it. But this... I am sure you have many other questions, and I do not have a lot of time. I don't have time to tell you why I don't have time. I grow weary of the energy I spent to seal such a powerful thing. Come, we will talk more in the other room about what more you have yet to face. That is, of course, if you believe you can leave without it. The shaman left the room, this time with a hunched back. She had lost the grace she once had. Her feet shuffled along the floor as though she were dragging herself out. The ordeal must really have taken a toll on her, and you felt a bit bad that you didn't offer her your assistance. You were alone in the room, with the blade and the watchful eye of the statue in the back. Its once angry face looked somewhat at peace now, though again, that was probably a trick of the eye. I'll leave here without such a cursed item. Leave room. You once again turned around and tried to take a step forth, yet something pulled you back. Seriously, what's going on? Leave the room. You once more tried to leave, this time looking like a fool as you used your arms to move your legs, but it was as though they were like boulders. This is getting ridiculous! Leave the room. I will get out of here! You tried many different ways to get out, yet it all ended the same. You can only get a few inches away. You even tried grabbing the blade and chucking it far away, yet, like it was glued to your hand, you couldn't let it go. You must have been in there for at least half an hour, but it was as though you were a fish caught on a hook. Oh, lordy, lordy. Leave the room. I can't do it. Leave the room. I can't do it. Leave the room. I can't do it. Leave the room. I wonder what happens if you just keep... Damn it! I don't want to grab the fucking thing. It's an evil sword. Its smug aura mocks me. Alright, fine. I guess I have to grab it. You resigned yourself to your fate. So I really can't leave without this. Reluctantly, you reached forth and grabbed the blade, expecting it to burn you, but the hilt was cool to the touch. The paper around the hilt seemed strong for some reason, like it was made of metal or a part of the blade itself. It wouldn't come off even if you tried to peel it, not that you wanted to or anything. Once you found Marilyn and Esther, you would have to ask them again how they acquired such a dangerous item. Perhaps you could find this person who sold it to them and get some more answers. With the blade in your hand, you could finally take the steps out of the shrine. The first thing you noticed when you entered the room was that you could actually see. It was no longer so dark you had to squint to make out details. At the side was the shaman, sitting on the ground with a set of tea to her side. So, you have finally accepted fate. You grumbled a bit. Come, sit. I have tea, though it has grown a bit cold. It should still be acceptable. Before you joined the wolf, you picked up your belt still lying in the middle of the room and reattached it to your side. It was still a bit singed, but it would hold. As you sat down, though, you were immediately drawn to the shaman's face. Her cracked mask was set aside, leaving her completely exposed. You were told that she was old, yet she didn't even look it. She looked young, perhaps even younger than you. But her eyes, those did not belong to someone naive, to someone just born yesterday. They were bottomless, yet filled to the brim with knowledge and wisdom. Even when she poured you a cup of tea, you had to physically turn your head to keep yourself from looking. Second, y'all. Water time. All right, y'all. We're back. Okay. If he stared too long, you might have gotten lost in them, and it was also just rude to stare. You took a sip, and the bitter taste shook you awake. Now then, where to begin? You set the cup down and pondered through the thousands of questions you had for her. Each one was equally as important as the last, and you just wanted to shout them all at once. But there was one that had been nagging you for what seemed like a lifetime now. The dream you had just before you woke up on the ship. The one of this village on fire, its destruction, and what happened to Koshiro. I had a dream. I know the one you speak of. You do? It is of our village, is it not? A mysterious enemy striking in the middle of the night, burning our buildings and slaughtering my people. The war bells chiming, the shrieks of those tortured and killed, the cries of our children just orphaned. And the smoke and ash, so thick it chokes you, stings your eyes and blots out the stars and the moon. You've had this dream too? Yes, I have been plagued by this sight for many years now, dreading the ruin that awaits us. What do you mean? You must have realized it when you stepped into the village, that what you saw wasn't just a dream. It was a vision of our village's destruction, and very soon what we have seen. I'm afraid to say it is the end of our village, the end of our ways, the end of our people. You thought the shaman was joking. This dream, it couldn't have been real. After all, a dream was just that, a dream. Just a mix of images in your mind while you were asleep, no matter how real it seemed. The longer you looked at her, the more you realized that she was serious. It's not the end. You do not realize how fate works. It is not something you can fight. You can't honestly believe that this village is doomed. I've seen what Koshiro can do, and while I hate to admit it, what Hyusuke can do, your village has raised some of the best soldiers I've ever seen. That won't be enough to stop a force this great. You can't honestly believe that. There is no way to stop it. What we have seen will come to pass. Sorry, but I refuse to believe that. If you have this knowledge and still don't believe you can do something about it, then you aren't trying hard enough. Build stronger defenses, set more traps, have everyone evacuate the village if that is what it takes. If you're just sitting here twiddling your thumbs, then the end will come. I see that you do not take destiny so seriously. No, I suppose for you it wouldn't matter much. Born outside of destiny's reach, you can walk uncertain paths, places where fate cannot grip you. You are not like the rest of us. We have only one path, one that vanishes behind us should we walk forth. Regardless of how much we prepare, even if we were to scatter in hopes of survival, we would not survive. Ridiculous. Placing your entire lives in blind faith over some vision. You sound just like him, but he too wouldn't escape the weave of fate. Sound like who? The shaman's eyes wander off into the distance. Richard. But you might have known him as the High Priest. The shaman remained quiet for several moments, likely ruminating over some memory. There was a deep sadness in the shaman's eyes, but even more than that was a longing, as though she had known him forever. I too believe fate was something you could break, but it can only bend. When you live as long as I do, see as many visions as I do, you learn to accept that things happen for a reason. The world moves towards a certain future, and regardless of how many paths you attempt to take to escape, you will always be led back on track. The priest wiped a single tear from her eye with her sleeve. I know that it is hard to accept this fact. I do not look forward to the day that my village must suffer. But there isn't anything that I can do. No, there will always be something that you can do. You say that you've already seen this vision play out hundreds of times, and you should have had some idea how to prevent it. You keep trying and trying and trying and never stop. You fight fate until it snaps in two. The shaman's eyes went to the back of her head, and she fell over onto her back. She heaved heavily, taking in breaths in erratic patterns, and her entire body convulsed. You quickly got up and ran to her side. Hey! You shook her head, and she started to mutter softly. Her face contorted as though she were in pain. She then started to speak so quickly that her words blended together into an incoherent rambling. Hey, is anyone there? You looked around the room, hoping to find someone. There must have been someone beyond the door, someone who knew what was happening, someone who could help. You went to get up, but were pulled back down. You. The shaman's grip was strong for someone as old as she claimed to be. Her eyes focused right on you, and her breathing relaxed. She tried to help herself up, but you were quick to assist her this time. Thank you. He poured her a glass of tea and offered it, but she gently pushed it away. I'm fine. It was just another vision. I thought you were having a stroke. I have never had a vision quite like that before. The shaman closed her eyes for a moment. It seems that I have been wrong this entire time, or perhaps it is simply because of you. Perhaps this is the reason why you have been chosen, why so many have been after you, and why you will continue to be targeted. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there, y'all. Alright, thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon or YouTube memberships if you can. It always helps. Anyway, I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!